Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Delta Green role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is Phlebotomy. It was written by Jeff Moeller and his crew, and it's from the collection Fear's Sharp Little Needles. It's available from Drive-Thru RPG. Our game master is John Dos Passos, and this is episode 4. Our recap will be given by Julian Arbaugh as his character, Agent Parsnip. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Julian?
I don't really know what's going on. Everything is just weird. Our questions still come back to London and what she's doing. Prada pointed out that maybe she's attacking people that have hurt her in the past. March Industries and Chang's, either one are dead or weaponized. There are people out there that are trying to protect her too. Jess Bell, obviously, but maybe that Detective Barkley too. We just haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. We got some information on limo that London uses, and Pawn thinks this would be a great play to gain access to London and Jess and then fill him full of lead. Paragon, Patch, and Prada had lunch with Phelps, and we're pretty sure that he's working for March Industries and knows entirely too much about us and what's going on. We then later tried to infiltrate Dr. Kleck's office, and while staking out the place, we noticed an unknown woman. She arrived and entered. And then we cut the power trying to get everybody out of the building. And that's when this woman, Lori Brown, exited quickly. And so we went in. And when we got into the facility, we found that there were 2 dead members of the staff, and Kleck had been turned into this creature, just like the ones we found in the phlebotomy clinic. So was this like an assassination attempt, or were we being set up by Phelps? I don't know. I am a bit worried about Pawn, though. He seems a bit distant, and it seems like something's kind of gnawing at him. Although I really ought to be kind of concerned about myself, actually. I got this email, which described an event in a book that I've got. And there was this woman called Epiphany who performed some ritual to mate with they that hold sway, and one day create the ideal offspring. Maybe London is some kind of quasi-Tatterach or something. My ideal descendant will arrive, and we will have prosperity, and she will not need her head. I think we might want to keep London away from any moon beasts or unnatural creatures, perhaps. The email, it came with some more hypergeometry about joining the worlds. I don't know what that's all about. But the biggest mystery, which I haven't told my partners about, is that the email came from somebody by the name of N. And I think this was somebody that I met in a dream. Or maybe it was a place called the Land of Dreams. I don't know. Said I could come visit and bring my friends. He offered assistance of some sorts, depending on the situation. And that seems a bit flaky to me. I don't like that. I don't really want to conjure up anything I can't put down. I just hope that whatever we're walking into, we don't need what Paragon calls an unnatural solution to an unnatural problem. So the next steps is the next steps.
All right. Thank you very much. That was wonderful, Agent Parsnip. Yeah. So we return on our agents right where we left off. It's about 3 or 4 a.m. Just peeking over into you can just start to see the sun slowly starting to rise just on the tips of the sort of nights, the bleak night sky. Parsnip is typing away at the computer that you found and liberated from the office that you have set up as you're all sort of gathered as he works.
Well, I figure someone has to make their way to Texas. Some ones. No one should do this alone. But I'm worried that she's headed to the Ferguson clinic to just do exactly what she just did at this clinic. It's not good.
We call ahead and make a bomb scare or something, make everybody evacuate, or
The timing on that is iffy at best.
I like
Maybe
the
tomorrow
idea.
night.
I like the idea of making sure no one's there when she gets there, but I'm worried she's going to burn the place down and we're going to lose important information.
the
That
same
might-
thing as if she's going there to kill people. She's not going to go, oh darn, they're not here, I'll just leave. She's not going to leave. She's going to kill them anyway somewhere else.
She doesn't discriminate, yeah. Which
I
is
feel-
why I don't want her to get there in the first place. So I say we
Yeah.
intercept her.
Yes.
Ooh,
Well,
who do
if-
you think she would be trying to kill there? We don't know.
Anybody that treated that, we know that Kleck didn't treat her there. So I'm assuming she's going to target anyone that treated her. But I think she's a bit more of a ruthless version of us. We tie up loose ends, but I think they have a broader definition of loose ends. And I think she's just going to kill anyone that she feels like has been exposed in any way to London Sinclair.
Well, I'm with Paragon on this one. We don't know enough, and I want to have a little chat with her. So I can try and catch up as much as I can, but we need to know who she works for.
Well, if you're going to do that, you should probably go now. And if it's a promising lead that we're going to need backup on, the rest of us can catch up a flight. We'll beat you there.
Okay.
So I assume you all start assembling the gear, get the go bags ready to move to the car and move out. And as you do, as you're packing the things and getting everything ready, it's when Parsnip, you find something. It's kind of one of those weird hidden plain sight type things. You go back to his back screen, his home screen on his computer, the desktop, and it seems that it is a sort of pointillism, sort of little abstract thing, a background of some sort of sky. And you notice at the very bottom in the corner, there's a little dot that you notice looks unlike any other dot. And you realize it's a period. And you click it, and there was a folder that he had changed the icon to be nothing. And he named it just a dot so that it would sort of be hidden on his desktop. And you open it up, and there's some different hidden files, some more, just little things, little snippets from his notes. And you find one that is labeled, it's just labeled, Robert Smith 2019 reports. When you open it up, it seems to be some sort of weird computer journal for Dr. Kleck.
The G-Man stopped by my research clinic the other day. Thought he would really spook me by showing up at my secondary facility out of state. Didn't really scare me further, but at least I know that they know. Shaisa, why do these bastards have to have such powerful minds in their clutches? Where did they find some of these scientists? Were they sending some of our data? I don't have a good feeling about this. Like I care about the checks from Wuxi, but the work we are doing is far more valuable. I had a chat with Dr. Pinchenko when he was briefly in town. He also seemed well versed in oniology. He even boasted that he was developing some sort of pseudo-hypnotism that has seen some successful applications already. Mein Gott, I do have to admit, though, I am actually a little worried for the fine doctor. He had a rather unusual worried look on his face when he had to excuse himself from the lunchroom with a rather burly gentleman. He rattled off some excuse about an urgent call from overseas and left. The dreams are back. I hope if I call the dreams and not nightmares, there will be better ones to come. There are people amongst the corn rows. They are searching, hunting, but there are shifters, changelings who wear false faces and say false things. And they walk amongst the people, just waiting for the right time to reveal their true nature. Interesting.
This is interesting. I feel like this is Dr. Kleck's report.
What's onerology?
That is, as Agent Parsnip knows, is the study of dreams, the scientific study of dreams.
We can make a connection right now. This Dr. Pinchenko, if he works at the Ferguson clinic, we might know the assassin's next target. And I'm going to just Google that.
I was about to say you can Google that.
So Dr. Pinchenko does not seem to work at the Ferguson clinic. The Ferguson clinic seems to be run by a Dr. Ferguson, actually. Dr. Pinchenko seems to be a researcher at the University of Ukraine. Seems to be a sleep study specialist, a psychologist. Not a lot about him online, just some research documents, some of it you kind of have to get the translation of.
Looks like he's probably safely out of reach, at least.
Parsnip, what was that bit about the Burley guy?
I also put this in the Discord as well.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it was something about Burley guy that he had a dispute with.
Jess,
Could be
maybe?
a lot of different people.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking that as well.
As you take a look, do you want to give me a psychoanalysis or human roll patch?
Oh, sorry, Patch. I thought you were.
Yeah, no worries.
I apologize. I was reading your note. Hument. Let's see. That is 49. That's barely a pass. My human's 50.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like this is sort of jotting down, kind of like a journal, like across maybe multiple days, or you think, and you kind of get that. There's some spelling errors. There's some weird grammatical choices. It's kind of like he's starting to, like the doctor's kind of starting to lose it a little bit. Like his work's starting to take a toll. And these are just some sort of hidden thoughts. It's kind of odd that he would put it like this, but it's sort of an avenue for his thoughts. Perhaps he was starting to forget things, and he wanted to sort of remember certain things and have them, kept in one's place. That was the best you can think. And he didn't want a physical journal, so that's why he did it like this.
Parsnip, when was this last edited?
And you can look. It seemed to be very recently, about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And the G-men, who are the G-men? That March?
It could be anybody, I guess.
Not us.
That's
It's
posing
somebody
as.
who would spook him. Yeah, it would be March, maybe.
Well, Wuxie through. He was saying he was getting checks from Wuxie, which is March, right?
Yes. G-men.
That's surprising.
G-man. Yeah. So G-man, one particular person. Hmm.
I wonder if what they're doing at Ferguson Clinic is a dream therapy of some sort. Maybe that's what's calming London down. I don't know. I still think our highest priority is to eliminate London. She is obviously a deadly, world-destroying entity of some sort.
I
whose
agree,
Blood could be, like I say, could be atomized and spread all over the world.
I just don't think we know enough information, Prada. I don't yes, absolutely. The end goal here is to eliminate London Sinclair. But if we go in fast and loose, if we start shooting from the hip, we could end up dead because we don't know. We don't have a full picture of what's going on here. I mean, there was that passage in that book that Parsnip found, and it's talking about how she could live without a head. How do you kill something that can
Look, if we don't go fast and loose, clues could go up in smoke. So
we'll go.
Yeah,
The
Pon and I are
Ferguson
going.
Clinic is a
We're
good lead.
going.
You should go.
Yep, we're all loaded up.
Yeah, probably it's at this point, they finish loading up the bags in the car, you finish your little chats. So yeah, it looks like, so Pon and Paragon are going to start driving, heading to sort of, intercept course, so to speak. And then the other three are planning on staying in LA to sort of see what you can find here
For
still.
now,
For
we
now.
might end up catching a flight.
Yeah, and go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say, as Pawn and Paragon jump in the car, as you jump in, the radio clicks back on. You're probably one of you have some sort of a scanner, and you do hear that there has been some reporting of what happened last night. It seems that the news seems rather quiet. However, you get on the police scanner that it seems that all units are being told to avoid that specific building. It seems that there are federal agents investigating. It seems some sort of a terrorist, maybe some sort of toxic gas, bombing or leak. There's worry that there was some sort of a sabotage or, like I said, bombing. And so that's sort of the official story that you get from the police channels.
Take a radio, where you can monitor police frequencies. That way you more likely to know when there's a speed trap coming up. Yes.
Yeah, I'm assuming Pawn has something like that.
Also keep your eye out on the tracker because she could ditch the car.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Right.
Wish us luck.
Good luck.
Come back alive.
Yeah.
Or don't come back at all.
Don't come back infected.
So, Pawn, this assassin lady, you want to question her, or is she kill on sight?
Depends if she draws a gun.
Okay.
But my initial will be start with the leg, and then we'll see if that opens up any avenues of conversation.
Okay. Fender bender plan.
Yep. And
All right.
worst case is we see if she has any more of those vials with her, because those need to get gone.
Okay. And we're driving alone, right?
What was that you
Unless
said?
want a
Sorry.
third.
We're driving like currently right now.
Yes.
Right now. Okay.
I'm assuming, did you want to go the speed limit? Do you want to speed a little bit? What was your plan here to try to catch up?
In town, it's a little too risky to go, full gas pedal down just from there's a lot of people catching in speed traps. Once we hit that interstate, it's getting opened up pretty hard.
All right. So I figure what we'll do. It is. It's early morning still. It's about 4 a.m. It's about maybe 4:30 now. The sun's just starting to sort of come up as they're getting out of town.
You could probably get away with 90 miles an hour at this time of the morning.
Nice.
Not there's gonna be a lot of traffic.
Listen, if we're really heading into the shit, so if I don't make it, I want my family to know.
Okay.
Yeah. My name is Jason Liu. I'm a U.S. Marshal. So just tell my family that I died a superhero. What about you? You have anyone?
You know what? I don't think so. I think it's better if I just disappear. It's I don't think we're going to get a die a superhero here, but it's a nice thing to think about.
And as you are making your way out, you do make it out of town. You're sort of going onto the more like interstates and sort of more freeways and highways, and so you can pick up speed a little bit. Like you said, you're picking up to sort of more 90. Looks pretty clear. So you're going a little bit over the speed limit, but not crazy that you're just zoom to everybody. But it is you do have to be careful. You do have your radio though, so that should give you a little bit of help. So we're going to be doing 2 rolls here. So you're going to need. There needs to be a dodge roll. And then we're also going to do a luck roll to see just happen the police presence in the area. And I'll give you a little bit of a bonus on that one from that radio. So these are actually going to be both. There's going to be a modifier that I'll put on one. But would you like to make the drive roll or would you like to make the luck roll? And I'll go ahead and make the other one and sort of have it in secret.
It's I'll do the drive because then if
Sounds
I feel
good.
I can improve it.
All right.
Otherwise, they're exactly the same.
And I will do the luck roll with your little bonus here in hidden.
Nope.
All right. And so you're driving along. It is rather unfortunate because as you're going, you're going along, and it seems like there are a few people on the road. As the starts to go into the morning a little bit. The sun's just starting to come up now, and you actually you're a little distracted because you get a call on your phone. Do you answer it or hand it to Paragon?
I'll probably take it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it is the number that you register as being from Frank Phelps that he gave you, that you have been contacting each other with.
oh, he is expecting me. Yeah.
Oh.
What is it? Is he's almost clipping someone with that 76 out of 50?
Well, yeah, I mean we'll get to that. Yeah. So you're kind of just driving here, and you get your phone out. Maybe are you gonna have it on speaker or just put it up to your ear?
Just up to his ear.
Okay. Yeah, and he says, "Hey, how you doing? Having a good morning?"
What do you want, Phelps?
Well, I got some good news for you. Looks like a certain friend of ours has returned to social media. You should check Twitter.
Hey, Paragon, check Twitter.
I checked.
Yeah,
For
and you
London.
don't see anything particularly from London, but you do remember that her cat also had like a Twitter and Instagram, and it seems that yes, she has posted now on Fang, her cat's Twitter and Instagram post of Fang on a nice little little porch, like a little second floor, little awning porch. Looks like she's having some breakfast, and her cat's there. And this actually, it looks like it came from somewhere in Texas, northern Texas, is where apparently where the little location thing on Instagram says.
Thanks, Phelps.
And then as you, is there anything else that you wanted to say? He's like, I just figured I'd let you know. We still on for later, or is that gonna put a wrench in things?
I think there's a lot of wrenches. You've been watching the news today?
Yeah. What do you mean? Lots been going on lately.
Mm-hmm. I need to know, is that you? Or is that something worse?
Is what me?
The clinic, Phelps.
Which clinic?
The one
sleep-
that's... yes, of course.
The sleep clinic. No, that wasn't me. I thought that was you. that wasn't you with all the craziness that happened there. You told me that wasn't you.
Was it a friend of yours? I don't have a lot of patience for this, Phelps.
Check something here. And there's kind of a pause. He says, it's not anything to do with me. He kind of says a little somewhat unconvincing for you, or a little bit rather unsettling to you, the way he says it. He said, but anyway, listen, I guess we'll postpone today, but just keep me in the loop, but might be a lead there for you. Maybe it might be a way to take care of this problem, so we can all go home.
Then he'll just hang up.
Yeah, he's like, cut this and then you hang up on him. And then as you go to put the phone down, it's unfortunate because somebody actually swerves a little bit into your lane, maybe kind of like they were going to go into the lane in front of you, but they didn't kind of have a blinker. And you almost kind of you have to kind of swerve out of that lane into the next lane on the right to just, very narrowly avoid scraping cars. And it's at that point that you hear the sirens of the unmarked police car that was a few cars back that noticed you swerve, turn his lights on, and try to pull you over.
Listen, I think it's going to be okay. Just flash a badge. Police have respect here with their fellow brothers in blue.
All right. He'll pull over to the side of the road.
You pull over on the side, a little.
He's making sure his holstered pocket is reachable.
Okay, noted. You see, a man, obviously a police officer, in looks like a deputy's uniform with a hat on. He walks up, says, "Hey, how you doing? what happened back there? You're going kind of fast, and then there was you almost hit that guy. What happened?
Kind of look over Paragon.
Oh,
Police business. Yeah.
Yeah, and I flash a badge and I say, we're actually in a rush to get to Texas.
Do you flash one of the fake FBI badges you have, or do you flash
Nope.
your U.S. Marshal's badge?
My U.S. Marshal badge.
Okay, all right. I'm making a note of that. He says, "Whoa, I'm sorry. Is this you're on the job? Is this Marshal business or some kind of?"
Yes, I have a warrant to serve up.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, just gotta be careful. Do you all not have a siren? You should really have a siren on for this kind of thing.
Yeah, we've got one of those
Probably should.
attachable sirens.
Yeah, go ahead and put that on. Otherwise, there's going to be more boys like me, boys and girls stopping you if you're going that fast, and people almost swerving into you. All right.
You got it. My mistake.
All right. Well, I suppose I'll let you go. But like I said, you really got to have sirens on. I'm gonna have to issue you all a ticket. As much as I hate to do that, but good luck with everything. I won't. I'll try not to hold you up. I do have to. I do have to file a report. It's not. There's nothing damning or anything, but just that this happened.
The window is going up and the car is pulling away.
Can I convince him not to file a report with my badge number? Yeah, maybe probably with a persuade.
Yes, it's going to be difficult though. So this is going to be, unfortunately, this will have to be with a -40.
-40.
Yes, given that there was almost a car crash and you were speeding without a siren, this is going to have to be a -40.
All right, let's see.
Because he's really not. I mean, they're really supposed to report almost every interaction, especially something like this.
9 out of 10.
Wow. He says, all right, you know what? I've been written up before. I don't want you to get you written up. I'll write down this person was a U.S. Marshal, and maybe I put one of your badge numbers wrong.
Oh, appreciate it.
Maybe I misspelled your name. There's a lot going on. There's I got a report coming to my radio already. I got to run. I scribbled the whatever.
Completely understood.
Have a good one. Get those. You get those bad guys. All right.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get them.
He says that you're already starting to drive away. The windows rolling down.
Holy crap, Pon, that was close.
Yeah, I knew it. They're tracking us.
I don't think so. I think we're just driving a little too recklessly.
No, they're tracking us. This is classic. God damn it. With Phelps too. Yeah, he swerves out into traffic again.
All right. So, what is the plan now that you've sort of been set behind just a little bit here?
Well, we have the tracker. We could keep the siren on until we're a bit a ways.
You could?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So you all throw the siren on, you really kick the car into gear and you start racing to try to catch up. It looks like she is indeed heading into Arizona. You are slowly starting to catch up. It looks like just from the tracker so far. Meanwhile, we'll cut back to the other three back in LA. You all probably get, I would patch, as soon as you, think to check, London's Instagram again. I know you were checking that before. You do again see, you also see rather that that her cat, her cat's Instagram has a new post. And so, you all have gotten that same information.
So she's in Texas. Damn it.
Yeah, I think we need to. Do we want to confront or speak with Barkley before we go, or should we just get on a plane and go?
Seems like the action is moving to Texas.
Absolutely, but we're going to beat them there. This is more than 13 hours. El Paso, which is the border of Texas and New Mexico, is 13 hours away from LA, and they're not in El Paso, so it's going to take them a while.
I'm still not completely convinced of the immediate necessity to go to Texas and chase this assassin down. But it's an important part of it. But
I think we have time, some time.
Well, it's outside of protocol, but I could stay and talk to the cop.
I think we have time. I think we could go. I think we
We're gonna
could
have
go
see if we
talk
can
to
get a
Barkley.
flight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can make arrangements, do that on your phone, and we'll make arrangements for flights. Go speak with Barkley, but we have some time. We have a little bit of grace time.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to get a hold of him too. And it's
Yeah, we
can't
need
call him
to.
at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh Lord, yeah, God, it's just dawn now.
Yeah, it's
We
about
need to. If we call him up and just say we're some true crime podcasters that want to discuss the case of London Sinclair, he's not going to give us any kind of priority.
I think we need to go in there more obvious.
Okay.
We can't just lie, but we can. I mean, we're going to lie, but we can tell them that we're FBI.
Oh, and we have fake
undercover.
credentials for sure. Yeah.
We do, yeah, and do some fishing. Make sure that he gets the hint that we might be March or we might be Delta Green. Then see if he gives us information accidentally.
Yeah, I have a feeling he might be a cowboy that just didn't get with the program at the right time. I don't know.
I wish that they kept better records back then. God.
Yeah. Well, let's go. You should probably do most of the talking. Prada, I'm as subtle as pawn. So
Well, sometimes the no nonsense thing is sometimes I'm too polite. All right. Well, we've got a few hours.
yeah.
Do we
He
need
probably
anything
wouldn't
from
show
the
in.
shop or the store? So what do you want for breakfast this morning? I could run over to Denny's and pick something up and bring it back.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, just give me like a grand slam and just lots of coffee. Lots of
Ooh,
coffee.
that sounds really good. You
Pick me
Parth,
up
the
this-
same?
Sure, I'll like the
Pick
sound
me-
of that.
Hey, pick me up a pack of smokes while you're out too. That'd be great.
What brand?
Marlboro. I don't care.
Oh, it's like smoking a chimney. All right. Nasty habit. So I'll go out and do that. You guys come up with, I'll go with whatever you guys want to go with. We're a team here.
All right. Yeah, we'll try to coordinate flights, maybe get something a few hours out. It's morning, maybe like late afternoon or early evening. We're still going to beat them there if we can get a flight out that late.
Yeah, early afternoon flights on weekdays are pretty good, pretty easy to get. So yeah, you can get something for maybe around like you said, early afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Like 4 or 5 o'clock even.
Yeah. So I will be back. I'm gonna have to fill up with gas too. So
So yeah, so it sounds like Prada's getting food and car ready and all the arrangements. So yeah, you're able to purchase some flights for you three. Is there anything else that you two wanted to do while you sort of waited for Prada to get back and hear back from the others or anything?
I did want to see about doing a trace on Jess's telephone, see if I could get a better idea about exactly where he is.
Sure. Yeah. Did you want to go ahead and do a computer science or SIGINT then for that?
Yeah. Yes, that is a regular pass, 58 out of 60.
Yeah, so you use some of the information you got earlier, and you ping into that the number he has, and try to triangulate where he's going with the cell towers. And indeed, it looks like he is also in northern Texas. You think he is around? Let me see here. I'll tell you the area. It's around. He said around Betty, Texas. North of Dallas and Shreveport, near Shreveport, Louisiana. So very much near the border, North Texas. That kind of general area is where those towers are pinging.
Okay. Is that, do I know if that's in or around the Ferguson Clinic?
You do think that the Ferguson Clinic probably lies within that area. Because you remember from the website, it did mention it was, north. It was like north of I-20 between Dallas and Shreveport.
Okay. Okay.
So I come back an hour later.
Yeah. So you're able to get some of that information. Hayes gets everything ready. Or Prada gets everything. Either one. He gets everything ready. Gets the car filled up. He's got food and smoke served ready. It's about an hour or two later. So it's about maybe 6:30, starting to go into 7. The sun's just starting to sort of be nice and bright out there.
So what? We just go to the whichever precinct he works for. I'm assuming we know that, and request an appointment urgently.
I'd say we would call there, wouldn't we? And say that we need to speak to him. He's a chief now at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Go ahead. Lieutenant. Yeah.
So, not calling the emergency number, not calling the police report number, but calling the station or itself. Then.
Yeah. It's precinct 13 of the LAPD. Looks like.
I'll tell him this is. I don't know how an FBI agent would present themselves. This is Agent. It's going to be a lie. Agent Smith of the FBI. May I speak to, I need to make an appointment sometime this morning to speak with Lieutenant Barkley.
Those woman answers. She says, all right, yeah, okay, Lieutenant Barkley. He gets in at 9 o'clock. He does have some things on his schedule, though. What is this about, Agent Smith, you said?
I can't discuss that. I can't discuss that. It's a federal investigation.
All right, is it in regards to one of Lieutenant Barkley's investigations, or is it one of your investigations?
Okay. To him.
Okay, all right, I understand. All right, we'll tell him. We'll have him give you a call as soon as he gets in, and he can set something up as soon as he has a free time.
All right, this is the number.
All right. Yep. Thank you.
All right. Now, if he suddenly runs out of town, then we got a second chase on our hands.
Is there anything you wanted to do while you waited for a call back from him?
Yeah, eat breakfast.
Oh yeah, time to eat.
I don't know. What else can we do? Is there anything we wanted to do a quick research on the internet or?
I did. I wanted to either on the internet or in that new version of the book I received. I'd like to look up They That Hold Sway and see if I could get any information on that. They That Hold Sway.
Occultliterature.com.
Control F here. Hold on.
Ouch.
So yeah, why don't you give me? We'll call this. Do an unnatural check.
No.
I mean, as best you can understand from the language, it seems they that hold sway. And it seems like, they hold great power or influence, obviously, is what that would mean directly. You think that in this reference here, the best you can think that the Legends is talking about is maybe some sort of, greater forces, the ones that, sort of are more esoteric in nature, the ones pulling the strings on things you get maybe. You're not quite sure exact names, but because it is a rather vague term.
Yeah.
But you do think it is tied to the unnatural somehow. Like there's, this is the kind of thing that you were all supposed to be investigating. But exactly where to pinpoint more than that, you're not quite sure.
Okay.
All right. About 30 minutes go by as you eat.
Yeah.
And then you do
from Kitty Cat.
Oh no, nothing. Not seemed like she had the one post in the morning, but no, nothing yet. Just the post of the little, her with the cat, or the cat rather with, sitting out on the little table, as somebody eats breakfast there. She's not herself in the photo, but it's very clear that someone's eating breakfast and it's with her cat. So
I wonder if that's silly. Use Google Maps to zoom in on the Ferguson Clinic, see where it is exactly. And I don't know. I don't know why that would give us any information at all.
Oh yeah, I mean, you would say. I mean, the Ferguson Plank does have awnings, but you wouldn't have the street view doesn't have enough detail, unfortunately, to say that that's the exact picture. But that would make sense from what you've seen. And yeah, as you're sort of looking through things, but about 30 minutes later or so, after you've eaten and looked a little bit, you do actually get a call.
Oh, excellent. Good afternoon. This is Agent Smith.
Hi, this is Lieutenant Barkley with the LAPD. Heard that it was you wanted to set up a meeting or something to do with one of my investigations.
Yes, Lieutenant Barkley. Myself and a couple of my associates, we need to speak with you about a case that we've been working on for some time now. I'd rather not discuss it over the telephone. Can we meet this morning? Unfortunately, I have a flight out this afternoon, so I can't delay too much.
I mean, I'm a busy detective. I can talk for a little bit. I mean, how long do you think this would take?
Half an hour, at most.
All right. Yep. All right. Come in as soon as you can. I've also got work that I need to get to doing some reports to finish for this afternoon as well. So I don't have a whole lot of time, but I can get you that.
I could be more flexible. If I didn't have this flight out, I'm heading to New York. We're seeing an opera at radio, or I don't know what's out there, Radio City, the Metropolitan Opera.
Okay.
Nice to. I'll see you very shortly.
All right. Yeah. And he also ends up. All right.
Take the bait, Prada?
I don't know.
It sounds like you've got a date with Lieutenant Barkley. So meanwhile, we'll jump back to the others. You all are continuing after this vehicle in pursuit, in hot pursuit. Looks like it is going over into Arizona. Looks like now heading towards Nevada, and you are following. And it looks like you are starting to catch up. So what, as you're getting closer to this vehicle, what is the plan? As you start to approach, a few miles away, 10, 20 miles behind.
So we're gonna rear ender.
That's the plan. I was thinking of, we'll just do that, and then we can escalate if she tries anything fancy.
Okay, I'll let you do the primary shooting, but I will be on standby in case she makes any quick moves for a firearm or anything.
Okay. Looking at both of us, non-threatening as possible.
Oh yeah, we'll put on some music.
In fact, it might be best to just have one of us be visible for the initial bit.
Okay.
Otherwise, two people, I would just run.
Let me take cover in the back seat. They won't see me.
Once you hear shooting.
Once I hear shooting, I'm gonna back you up. And if we do have to have a Come on, Pon, you know me. If we do make a body, then we can buy ourselves more time with some police tape, and we can pretend we're cops that just found the crime scene.
Good thinking. All right, gonna rear end her.
All right, and is your plan just to use the sirens? Like, you're going to turn the sirens off, and then
no, we're gonna take the siren off the car.
Just it'll look like we weren't paying attention. We're driving into the sun because it's coming up. Mm-hmm. Maybe we weren't paying attention, going too fast. Rear end.
I have
exchange insurance numbers.
Yeah, I have my MP5 ready in the back seat.
So so you speed ahead a little bit. You're approaching her. On the this sort of rural Arizona highway, interstate, towards Nevada. So go ahead and give me a drive roll to try to move in and rear end her, so sort of pit her to go the way you want it to.
This is a big one. It's a 50, and I'm sure that I will get a 59 over 50.
All right. Well, let's see what she gets as you try and rear end here, and there's sort of some sort of collision. All right. And so you do indeed, you bring it up and you go to rear end her, but she actually seems to spot your vehicle approaching, and she tries to sort of shift into the next lane. And so instead, you sort of just bump, sort of scrape the back of her car with yours. And then it's at this point that she is now spinning, a little bit just off, and it looks like she is going to hit the gas as to continue driving.
All right. He will try to match because they've obviously got into a fender bender and he's trying to kind of wave her over. The kind of way you would do after you get in a fender bender. It's like insurance numbers. You can't exactly point to your insurance card, but yeah, he looks as friendly as he can. Probably doesn't look friendly.
Why don't you do me a charisma or persuade here to try to, appeal to this person to try to do, go do this by the book.
I'll do a persuade and hits it on the nubbin, 50 on 50.
All right, so there's this look from this woman as she looks like she's like kind of giving you this look like what the hell, and then she kind of she kind of like has this face of admittal like I'm supposed to pull over, I guess, and so she pulls over and she pulls over on the side of the road, pulls up, and it looks like her car is stopped.
Okay, is she getting out?
No, it seems that she is just she's still sitting in the driver's seat.
Okay. Pond will just stand up. He's not looking in the rear. Well, he'll give a glance in the rear view mirror at Paragon and step out towards the car, trying to time when there aren't a ton of other cars just gawking nearby. I don't know how busy this is at the moment.
It's there's some cars going by once in a while. It's not super busy, but once in a while a car zooms by. It seems that there were some cars that continued on, that were around you when you were driving. Okay. And so were both of you getting out, or was it just you, Pawn, or
just
I'm hitting?
I think.
Okay. So Pawn, as you get out, go ahead and do me an alertness roll.
26 under 70.
You do see, as you're getting out, you see the glimmer of something, sort of like something shine in the sun, like and sort of like a bit of light reflects off her window towards you, like she's holding something metal. And it seems like her window is rolling down as you start to approach.
Okay. Is she looking back at me at the moment?
It looks like she is looking through she's looking through her like mirrors back at you. Yes.
He's gonna kind of do like a kind of crack his shoulder like he heard it and kind of give like a hand signal back at Paragon like it's on. Then he's just gonna raise his gun and fire at the back of her head.
All right, go ahead and give me a firearms roll. You do see as she sort of when she sees this as well, she sort of spins and she pulls a gun as well and moves to shoot sort of through the side of the window, same way you're trying to shoot her.
45 under 71.
Yep, that's it. Go ahead and roll damage because she fires and she unfortunately misses.
All right, that is a medium pistol, which 1 damage.
Yeah, so you do shoot her, but unfortunately it kind of rips through the seat and kind of grazes her, and you kind of you think maybe nicked her ear or the side of her head as you hear her yelp, and she sort of she actually looks like she tumbles into the passenger seat and seems to try to take cover and sort of get another shot. Like so she's trying to she's doing the bobbing and sort of weaving as she looks like she has some sort of a silenced pistol. You've noticed as your gun made a
Classic.
sound, but hers did not.
Yep.
And so we go into formal initiative. Let's see here. Was it Paragon? I believe it was. Paragon, did you have a higher initiative, right? Or did you both?
I have
60?
75.
Yeah, so it's 75,
Yeah,
and then Pawn is 60. Yeah, so
correct.
Yeah, so Paragon, you would go first as you sort of react to the one bullet flying and what you would recognize as a silenced pistol. The heavy thunk of a silenced round that you can still hear from nearby.
Okay, so I kick open the passenger side door so it acts as cover, and then I'm going to fire with my MP5 a long burst to get a kill radius because she's not going to get another shot off without being suppressed.
So just to clarify, you were going to put a burst of rounds into her vehicle
Yes.
on the side of the interstate.
Yes.
Got you. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll firearms.
29.
All right, that is a hit. She is going to have some cover, but given that this is lethality, it might not matter. So go ahead and roll that lethality roll. Let me pull up my chart.
That's
here.
8 damage.
Yeah. What were the two numbers?
30 and 8.
Okay, thank you. Oh, so that would actually be,
11.
11. Yeah, so that'd be 11
11
damage. But let me double check my chart here with the cover. All right, it looks like. All right, so that will be. Oof. Okay. So yeah. So you rip some bullets into the car. It looks like the frame and the seats that she's trying to bob behind do take a couple of the bullets, but you turn the back car seat, the backside of that car seat into Swiss cheese. So she's taking a number of shots as well. And so it looks like you hear these sort of as she takes a number of hits and falls against the car, and she is gonna have to roll to see if she is even able to move because she might be stunned from the amount of damage you just dealt.
Give it up.
And in response to that, you see she kind of peers over, struggling, trying to take a shot at you as she kind of like crumples, opens the door and sort of crumples against it. Ooh. And even with a negative, that is still a hit. She got a 3.
Nice.
And so you said you were taking cover behind the car door, yes?
Yeah, and I'm also wearing body armor.
So yes, so you're gonna get. I'm gonna give you 2 points for the car door plus whatever your body armor is versus this, which is good because she also has a medium pistol, which means wow. That is gonna be 7 damage. However, your armor is 3. Yes. Or do you have the advanced?
It's the armor. It's 4 plus the 2.
Right. So that'll be 1 damage. Yeah, you take 1 damage. Ooh. As luckily she puts a round through the car door and through your advanced Kevlar vest, or your hardened Kevlar vest, I believe is what it's called. And so you hear the thud, hit you. A little bit of the wind gets knocked out of you.
Can I roll sanity due to violence?
Sure. Yes. Yeah. You rather you should. At least rather when the adrenaline wears off, you'll definitely feel it. And so that was that. And, meanwhile, so Pond, what are you doing? Looks like she's crumpled behind this door. She was trying to take cover behind it, but she's not in good sorts. You could probably try to shoot under it if you think if you really wanted to.
So is she outside of the car at the moment?
She is. She's kind of slumped halfway because she has sort of fallen onto the floor and she's struggling to sort of keep herself up as she's losing a lot of blood.
We need to chat with her. He's going to run up and try and disarm her if that is.
Oh, yes. Go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead and do an unarmed combat. And because she already acted in response, she cannot oppose this.
The dice are kind to me today. 22 under 60.
Yeah. She kind of jumps up and makes her shot, and then kind of ducks back, trying to maybe perhaps even reloading her gun at this point, or checking how many bullets she has, taking out and putting it back. And that's when you kind of run up, and she kind of tries to shift, and you just straight up kick that thing out of her hands. It goes flying off into the Arizona desert, behind a little shrub, some sort of cacti shrub. So she seems to be rather disgruntled by that. She moves to try to scramble to get something from the car, she's going towards the glove box. And it looks like she's struggling to try to get at the glove box, like she just will not yield. And so this will be I guess it's Paragon again. It looks like she's moving for the glove box, and Pawn is trying to restrain her. She is unarmed at the moment.
Can I make a cold shot for her hand?
You can. That would be a -20.
All right.
Single fire, I assume.
Yeah, let's go with time. I made it 34 out of 80.
All right. Yeah, with one of the with the second half of your magazine left, you do a single shot. She reaches up to try to open the glove box, and you shoot her hand. Like there's a splatter as like one of her fingers, part of her finger is shot off, and she goes, "Fucking asshole! That's just uncalled for." In case she kind of falls against the road, and it's at this point that she kind of like looks up to you, Pawn, and she's just like, "Oh, why don't you fucking get it over with, you fucking asshole?"
I'm gonna put the siren on the car and make it flash.
I'll make it quick. Who do you work for?
Who do you think I work for?
Answer the damn question. Otherwise, I'm dragging you out in the desert to die.
What are you gonna do if I? What are you gonna do if I answer the question, you dumbass?
Better chances.
Tell you what, call 911 and maybe I'll think about talking. But
okay,
I'm not making it out of here unless they start driving. She kind of like spits, a bit of blood. She seems like she has taken a lot of hits, and she's bleeding a lot out of her stomach.
All right, he's calling 911. Actually, does she have a phone handy?
She does. She's a.
He'll call it on that one. Yeah, he'll call it on that one.
Yeah, the answer. 911. What is your emergency? What do you call it in as?
There's a really bad accident out here.
Okay. All right. So if the gunshots hadn't been reported, in the desert, they definitely are on the way now. And we're at least medical professionals and probably police as well, given the nature, given the rural location of the road, or on the road. You see, Lori kind of, look up at you, and she kind of like gives you this weird look. She says, "Why are you even doing this? I mean, don't you see she's a fucking monster?"
Where'd you get the vials from?
Sleazy paparazzi will do anything for enough money.
So this is just cleaning house.
Cleaning house?
I see. What's Jess in all of this to you?
That hick bodyguard of hers?
Yes.
I don't know, just an obstacle? Something like her? I don't know. What he is and why isn't my department.
So why did you kill Dr. Kleck?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's part of some plan. You tell me, smart guy. You seem to have all the answers.
Do you? Go ahead.
Think you can just come out here and just, interrupt me in the middle of our plan, trying to save lives here.
Yeah. Us too. Trying to think. Not much of a thinker, honestly. Paragon, you got anything? I think this fills in some stuff.
Where were you going?
Where do you think I was going?
To take care of Sinclair?
She kind of, looks to the side a little bit, she says, that was the plan.
How do you think you would go about doing that?
Let's just say we had a plan.
Phelps told me you didn't have a plan. Now you tell me you did have a plan.
Phelps, who's Phelps?
Can I tell if she's lying?
Yeah. Do you want to do a human roll?
Yeah, I've got 80.
Yeah,
Human.
I'd like to attempt if possible as well.
Just 80. Oh my god. I made it.
I mean, she's obviously, not wanting to, give you everything here. She's not being the most truthful, kind of on her, they feel like she might die here, might be going to jail, or, who knows what, after she gets medical facility. You don't know if that specifically was a lie, but you do know that, this is, you're not quite sure if it was true either.
We done here?
Yeah. Why don't you
Depends.
check
What
her
do you,
car?
what are you gonna tell the cops?
Guess I'm not really worried about it, and then I'm gonna shoot her.
Okay. Let me just double check here. Have you become adapted to violence yet?
Oh yes,
Okay.
indeed.
I have
Then
not.
this will just
That is
be
why
the-
he's telling Paragon to look somewhere else.
Well,
No, I'm
looking
looking.
away-
I know what's happening.
I was gonna say, looking away might help in the moment, but unfortunately, the weight of what you're doing, is going to get to him because he knows what just happened. So, this will be, since you're just witnessing it, we'll reduce it by 1. So yeah, go ahead and do me a sanity roll versus violence. This will be a 0, 1d4, since you are just the accomplice here of the witness of killing an enemy in cold blood.
I failed.
All right, yeah, so go ahead and roll a d4 sanity damage. As you did witness Pawn just, murder a dying, unarmed woman.
But now I checked all 3 boxes to violence now.
Ouch!
Jesus.
Another one bites the dust with their social life. So yeah, go ahead and roll me a d6, unfortunately, as we are going to be reducing your charisma by that. 3. Well, that's about as good. That's the number you get if you do it out of game or in a downtime or before games. So that's, about the average you can get. So take 3 off of your charisma and 3 off of every bond. But know that you won't be taking any more damage from violence as Paragon is.
You automatically
cheated
succeed
enough, so.
every violence.
Right. That's what. Yeah. You won't be taking any more damage from violence sanity checks. All right. Now, does that make any bonds go to 0?
No, my bonds
Okay,
are strong.
that's good. All right. So you go ahead and you do cap her in the head and finish her off. She was not able to stop you. It looks like her car didn't have much. It looks like she has some knives. Looks like there was a knife in the glove box. It looks like she had the silenced gun. She also had, let me see here. I think she had in her trunk. She had some more stuff. She also had so she has the 45. Her gun is a 45 automatic with a silencer. It looks like she has a few things of the ammo in her trunk. She also has a small ceremonic commando style dirk. This is actually designed to evade metal detectors. And that's actually in her trunk. In a sort of little bit of a her version of a go bag, basically.
Let's pick this all up. Throw it in the car.
We need to get the weapons and go.
That's about it. Looks like that there isn't very much anything else. Looks like she has just that burner phone in it, or you do actually notice Frank Phelps's burner number, but other than that, doesn't seem like she has many numbers in. But there is also a call history that you could look at later if you wanted to. So you grab all this, throw it in. Did you want to try to get out of here before the paramedics, or did you want to wait and try to give them some sort of story?
Let's go.
Yeah, we need to get out of here.
Yep.
The only thing I was wondering, there's no bell like symbol or anything, right?
No,
Nothing
there's no
of
sort no clan crest or anything like that. No.
Okay, not worth it. I was thinking we could get Jess involved, but let's get out of here.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to grab the tracker as well on our car.
Good idea.
All right. All right, and you're just you're gonna leave the body as it is.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't see a reason to do anything more. Just get more prints on it.
Drug violence.
Yep.
All right. Making note of that. All right.
Interesting that
Sounds
she
good.
had no syringes left over. She must have just had the one.
Probably from Ohio.
No, it sounds like the paparazzi got it somehow. Strange. He's pulling away. Did our car get hit with some bullets? I think it did, right? There's
There's
a hole
yes.
in the door.
There is a
right?
bullet hole in the door that Paragon used for cover.
I'm gonna slap some duct tape over it, cover the hole.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah. Do you want to give me a luck roll to see if it's the same color as the car?
Okay. $25.
All right, there you go. So yeah, it's you have some black or some dark duct tape. So it a little closer, it looks like there's duct tape on your door for some reason, but from afar it just looks rather regular. So that's good. All right. So what is the plan? From here, it looks like it's about starting to get to be about midday. As as you're wrapping all this up. What is the plan as you're driving away? Head back, head forward. Where you going?
Let's call. Let's head forward.
Yes.
Okay.
Call, and we need to swap out the car at whatever the next rental place is. We'll just park it somewhere, walk in, and get a different rental. Just
Okay.
ditch this car.
All right. Yeah. So you ditch the rental, and it's about this time you two sort of the two timelines. The two groups sort of meet back up. You all are preparing to go meet with Lieutenant Barkley. You've got that all set up. You've eaten. You've got some other things prepared. The others have succeeded in something, and so you are able to talk. You said you wanted to give them a call, right? Yeah. So
I
I'll
assume
figure you're on.
they're continuing on to Texas, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are driving towards Texas, and I'll assume you can all sort of be in speaker with each other.
Assassin's taken care of.
Assassin's with March, so is Phelps for sure.
Really?
Yes. Sounds like they paid some paparazzi to get some of London's whatever was in that syringe.
What were they going to do?
They were going to kill London Sinclair in Texas.
Got any ideas how they were going to do it?
From the looks of the weaponry in the car, just
Brute
Might-
force it. Yeah.
Brute force. I don't know that they'll have been successful, though. I think they didn't have a good as plan as they thought.
I like this Phelps guy. He just keeps getting other people to do his shit work. He's got to go. I
yeah, I agree.
Do you think that
don't want to start a war with March, but
We do have to clean up loose ends. Phelps is in LA. He knows all about us. Well, if not all about us.
too much about us.
Yeah, too much. Enough.
Well, we've got a meeting with Barkley. Depending on if there's any leads to follow from there, I might get on the plane and meet you there just to see if there's anything of note. But we
Do you
may
think
just
you
decide
should
to skip the plane. I don't know.
clean up Phelps?
Well, wait, we're going to the Ferguson clinic, aren't we?
Well, yes, what I'm saying, if our interview with Barkley lead gives us other
Oh, I see.
leads, the assassin's taken care of. I mean, we can kind of do this a little bit more leisurely. A little bit.
Anna and I can check out the Ferguson clinic, scope it out
Mhm.
first before we make any
So-
moves.
Did she tell you who she was working for?
She has Mr. Phelps' burner number in her
Right.
burner.
So do we assume that she's working for the Chains?
The way that the clinic was covered up so quickly means they have some kind of involvement with the local police. I don't think just the Chains have that kind of power.
Unless, well, the Chains, don't we know the Chains have an association with March?
Yes.
Yes.
And the Chains hired Phelps, didn't they?
Yes.
Yes.
And then Phelps maybe hired this woman.
I-
And it's all to kill London.
Paragon might be onto something though when he's saying that like it's possible that someone in the police is covering all of this up as well because of the suppression of media coverage, which means we should tread very lightly when it comes to Barkley. If he's the one that's making all of this get swept under the rug, then
Especially if he's March.
he knows more than that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
We also
So
have
that
to
brings, what should
Go
we
ahead.
ask him when we get there?
I don't know.
We wanted to ask about the parents' case. The parents whose brake lines were cut.
Right.
And do we want to take a gamble and mention James Chang?
Well, the second that we start on that line,
and see where it takes us.
those things are all connected, and he's going to know they're connected in some way. My guess is,
Okay. Okay.
because if we could figure it out, he could figure it out. He's a lieutenant.
I don't think he's figured any. I think he's read into this situation somehow.
Well,
Or
he
he's
would
being paid
never.
off or something.
He wouldn't have a clue about extra, dimensional magic or any of that shit. But
I wouldn't be so sure. I mean, he saw what happened to Sinclair's hairdresser or whatever, and then just swept that under the rug as what, a heart attack? Instead of coming up with something, we should be careful.
So is our angle that we are working the phlebotomy lab case and we're making connections? Or is that too much?
That might be tipping our hand too much.
Hmm.
I don't know. What do you think, Prada?
it's difficult for me to be so subversive. I tend to go in and I want to tip the scale, tip it all the way over and see where it lands. I mean, if he becomes a threat, we can always eliminate him. But if he, if he, let's assume that he's not involved at all, that he's been duped into this, he wouldn't have any clue what we were talking about, don't you think? If he's with March, he could pretend like he doesn't know what we're talking about and then go to them.
Right. Well, the only way to know is to talk to him.
Dangerous. Yeah.
Oh, one thing, if we're still on speakerphone.
Yeah.
She didn't know about the bodyguard. She didn't know he was a Bell. She just said he was some hick bodyguard.
Mm.
That implies to me they don't understand the danger he poses. Otherwise, they'd be concerned about killing him off first, too.
What if
There's something there.
What if the Chains don't know about the connection between the Farnsworths? Maybe
That
we
wouldn't
are
surprise
still
me.
ahead of the game in our knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah, they may not know anything about that text that we got from In. In which case we may have saved the world by stopping the assassin from unleashing whatever the heck London is.
We're going to set up a green box in Texas and do some surveillance.
Right.
Call and see if there already is one. I'm sure there's one in Texas.
Do we want to call
Texas is
B-Cell?
huge.
Yeah, we should call ACEL. I don't like it, but we should. Also, Parsnip, is there anything I should do, or Paragon, I think, has it, anything we should do with the assassin's phone so that we don't get killed immediately?
Yeah, you can pull the SIM card out of it if you want to do that, and that would break any link there. But we could still also then later, look back at any messages and things like that if we wanted to. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have a feeling we'll be joining you in Texas later this evening. So
Well, good luck with Barkley.
thank you kindly.
Maybe our angle with Barkley is kind of like what Prada's been saying. Just keep it simple and direct. We go in as we're investigating this cold case.
Yeah, well, even more so, we're investigating the explosion at the phlebotomy thing, and how it relates to London and these other things.
So we
we're
are
not-
going to bring up. Okay, we are going to bring up the phlebotomy lab then.
I mean, we could. He might just think that we're. I mean, wouldn't. I'm surprised that the FBI hasn't already started some sort of a weird investigation, not realizing.
He's been suppressing all of this. I don't think he's reporting this to anybody.
We could use the old CDC letter instead.
We do
Okay.
have a copy of
We
that.
do. Yeah.
And we could say that this eventually made it to us,
Yeah.
and we're just now able to devote man hours to it.
What if we use some serious interrogation and make him think that we're investigating him? Because the reports don't seem to correspond with the information that we're running across. Use a fear
Maybe
tactic on it.
start a little bit friendlier and then go into that if he's not giving us anything.
Yeah.
You go in with that and you might meet some resistance.
I have to admit, in a meta way, I have no idea what to ask this guy to get what information that we want out of
We
him.
just bring it up. It's an old case. We ask him what he remembers of the events. Maybe bring up the hairdresser and say that, we could bring up the video and say,
Yeah.
Why did you report this as a heart, or why was this reported? Not you, because then we're blaming, and then he might get cagey with us. Why was it reported as a heart attack when this is what really happened?
Right. Okay.
All right.
I mean,
well,
obviously he knows what really happened, right? I mean, he
but
doesn't
I want to know
about
why.
the
Yeah,
blood,
but I want to know
but-
why he's not reporting it the way it's meant to be reported. I don't know.
All right.
One thing, Mr. Handler, checking the burner phone. How many numbers are in it? That will reveal the size of Phelps' team.
There's actually only one number that is speed dialed. There's only one number that's actually registered in the burner.
And that's not Phelps. Oh, so that is Phelps.
That is Phelps's. That is what you know is from talking to Pawn is the burner number Phelps gave you. However, there is also a call there's a call from a cell number to this burner phone. And that cell number is a private number that you can potentially trace.
All right. Well, once Parsnip gets here, we can get this number to be traced.
Or if we're on speaker, you can just give it to us over the phone now.
It's a private number, so
Oh, I see.
there's no number.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we're going to meet you in Texas. You'll probably have to pick us up.
Yeah, we'll get a motel. We'll pick you up from the airport.
All right.
All right. So sounds like next up is the meeting with Barkley before you leave LA for a little bit. So so was it just Prada that was going to go, or?
Oh no. Yeah, I said
Okay.
my team.
Okay.
Yeah. Never go alone.
All right. So there's the three of you.
Dressed too in black suits with ties.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do you all want to, how do you all want to show up? What are you going to be wearing? What is the sort of vibe, so to speak, that you're presenting?
Yeah, FBI.
Okay.
Dressing.
So yeah, nice suits, things that agents or specialists or liaisons would wear, associates, he did tell you to come in, as soon as you can. So it sounds like, he's, at the precinct working. So how did you want to approach?
Well, we'll walk in the front door. Say to the person at the reception desk, we have a meeting with Lieutenant Barkley.
Oh, sure. Yeah. He's through there, he's in the corner of the bullpen.
Thank you. So we walk over there, and as soon as I see him, I'm like, Lieutenant Barkley, Agent Prada, Agent Smith. And I'll show him my badge.
Yeah, and he looks up, he kind of closes, a report he was working on in his little desk in the corner there, and he says, good to meet you. Yeah, thank you. He kind of gestures towards his, that he's wearing. He's got like a sort of the detective style sort of uniform on. He's wearing like a cheap blazer, a nice shirt. He's got the badge on his hip, with his utility belt. He's here, take a seat. He's got two little stools that you can sit, next to his desk.
Is it like the police office in a TV show?
Yeah, it kind of is. It looks like he's kind of got this little corner over here where he's sequestered off.
Is there a place where we can speak privately?
Nobody will bother us here, but I guess we could go into the the interrogation room's a little eerie. We can go to the conference room.
Sure.
So he takes you over, and it's standard than a little conference room, the kind of thing that they do, team meetings and stuff when they're not all around in the standing around the the podium or doing one of those. It's like where they can have meetings with officers and clients and speak with witnesses and things like that. So a nice wooden table. There's some open sort of windows to the rest of the precinct, but you just Barkley shuts the blinds so you enter. He says, take a seat. Can I get you coffee? An old muffin from yesterday?
Coffee would be nice, thank you.
And he pours you some coffee. It's a bit stale. It's probably made very early this morning, but it's decent coffee there they have in the conference room.
I should introduce, this is Agent Chloroform and Agent
Agent Toops.
Okay, Toops and Bailey. So we have an ongoing investigation concerning some rather odd occurrences in various parts of the country. And the reason why we're here talking to you is because in one way or another, you're involved in the police reports. Let's start with the incident with a young man who seemed to have exploded. You were fairly,
Sure.
you weren't a lieutenant at the time. You were younger.
Oh, you're talking about the old closed cold case?
That's correct.
Was poor James Chang. He real unfortunate to happen to him. Oh God, that was not a fun scene to watch. But what interest does the FBI have in an old case like that?
Well, it ties into a number of more recent cases, but what I'd like to know is, were you on the scene when were you one of the officers on the scene?
I was, yeah.
I imagine the scene itself was rather traumatic. Were there any details that you left out?
No, I mean, if you've read my report, it was very detailed.
You say that some of the pieces had been moved, or
yes, it appeared as if it was strange, as if something had someone had tampered with the scene, or the body parts had been moved around.
And the girlfriend was not involved.
I mean, it seemed like they had seen each other earlier that night, and she said he was fine when you left her, and whatever happened to her could or whatever happened to him could not have. I don't think that she could have done it. That boy, he exploded, and that was like someone took a grenade and shoved it inside him, and then did weird stuff with the parts afterwards.
And have you had contact with the parents of the boy, the Changs?
No, I mean, we spoke with them following it. They were very torn up about the whole thing. They want us to see justice as hard as we could. And we did as much as we could, but we really have no explanation. It might have been some strange natural biological thing, and that's why we had the CDC were involved and all that. But that was all years ago by now.
You were also present at the death of a hairdresser in a car accident, if you will, involving Miss London Sinclair.
What do you mean, a hairdresser? And a car accident?
Yeah, am I getting the
heart attack? Thought it was a heart attack.
Heart attack. Well, I didn't want to say that, so.
Well, because there's the incident with London Sinclair and the car accident, and then there's also the incident with
the parents were in the car accident.
The incident with the hairdresser was that the hairdresser and mother figure, she was thought to have a heart attack, from the thing. So yeah, just to
Right,
clarify,
but weren't
out of
they in the
game.
car driving and
That was the parents. Her parents were murdered.
London cut herself and went.
So yeah,
like
there's
this?
Oh no, she was like she'd slammed a door. Like they were at a scene where she had slammed a door or something like
I
that.
assumed that was a car door.
So there's two incidents. There's one where, as a child, she with her parents got in a car accident, and that's how her original adoptive parents were killed.
Right, I know that one.
Yeah, and then what happened with this is that she came in, she came back to the film site, where they were filming, and she was very drunk, and she slammed the door on her hand, and there was blood, and she flung blood, and you sort of have posited that it must have hit the hairdresser, and that's why she had a sudden heart attack on the scene.
All right.
The death of Vilma Rodriguez. Yes.
Rather, I'll clarify. Are you asking about the hairdresser's death or the car accident? Is what
the hairdresser's death.
Yes.
Maybe I'm remembering things wrong as I'm going, but didn't she explode also? The hairdresser.
Let's see here.
I thought everybody exploded that got exposed to her blood.
That was the
Jesus,
video we saw. The
Heart
video
attack was the fake.
Yeah.
Heart attack seemed like the cover up. My impression is people have been exploding all over the place and she's been covering them up. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we've misinterpreted.
The video that we saw from and this is out of character, the video we saw from the paparazzi was that she exploded.
So yes, the video, it didn't quite show her exactly, but you heard it was inhuman gargling noises could be heard for about 5 seconds, and a horrendous screech as blood obscures the camera, and then the footage ends.
Yeah, it sounds like she exploded.
Okay, so blood was everywhere.
Yeah. So it looks like she did explode. However, there isn't any official report as such. It according to her Wikipedia, it was just a heart attack.
Okay, right. But the lieutenant was there.
Right. So yes, you want to ask him about
and
that.
it was
Yeah.
reported as a heart attack.
Mhm.
Instead of an explosion.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking to him about. Why does it? We have one piece of evidence showing us that it was a similar explosion.
He kind of sits back and looks up and he says, "Hold on a minute, just a sec. You when we spoke on the phone, what was it that you mentioned at the very end? Something about New York or something? Your flight?"
We're heading to New York later this afternoon. It doesn't have anything to do with it.
Said you were going to was it an opera?
Yes, La Traviata. Why? Does that mean something to you?
I don't know. Are you friends with Charlie?
I don't know. Is that a code?
Yeah, is that something we would recognize?
It's not something that you would recognize, unfortunately. No.
Okay.
He says, "You have friends with Charlie or something?"
I'm not exactly sure the reference. Things have changed quite a bit over the years. Speak plainly. We're private.
He kind of says, "Well, you said you're from the FBI?"
That's what we said. Yes.
Well, I was working with some agents. I'm sure you find seems like you already know about the CDC letter.
Yes, we have the CDC.
So we had some people from the FBI and some people from the CDC that were looking into that. So that's, we figured it would be better for the public if it was registered as a heart attack. And the feds took over the scene. So
didn't it occur to you that London Sinclair was also present?
At which one?
At
Both.
the heart attack, at the boyfriend exploding.
I mean, for when the feds get involved, that sort of, we let them take care of that. The CDC is the expert on things like that, and when the FBI tells you something, you listen. I mean, hey, at least I don't know. Seems like these days, the fucking, but 10, 20 years ago, feel like we chatted with, law enforcement chatted with each other a little more. Nowadays, it's fucking like talking to a brick wall, these fucking suits.
let me tell you that backfires on us sometime. In this case, it may be that kind of a backfire. The problem is that in the older days, we would do things that we thought were right and then not make any record of them. And it's occurred to us that in this case, it may be something that we are investigating that somebody's already investigated before us, and we simply don't have any record of it. Do you know anything about London Sinclair that any information you could give us would be important? Are you from our perspective, it seems like you have been given instructions to cover certain things up. If that's the case, tell us now. We're double backing on ourselves.
See, that's where I'm confused. You see, because I did retrieve instructions, but that was almost 15 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I think, we've got, agents from the FBI and CDC investigating some weird thing again. I think, oh, okay, it's the same people. But now they're stirred, they're cold. They won't give me the time of day. And now you come asking questions that your boys from before should have already told you. So why?
Yeah.
What's going on there? Are you not talking to each other? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, Prada, I don't necessarily think we're friends with the same people here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you,
What about the events of yesterday evening?
Yeah, what happened yesterday evening?
Well, if you weren't aware of anything, then they just put it out of your mind. Never mind.
And I'm a detective. I work homicide usually.
I've got a quick question, a quick meta question.
Yes.
Something that we probably were of. March.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know when March came into existence?
Yes, recently. I do believe following. It was established in recent years, since now and 9/11, or since 9/11 to now.
So it's not likely that the first incident was covered up by March, because that was before March existed, isn't it?
No, all of these events are post 9/11, which means if it's either Outlaws or the program, but the program didn't seem to know anything about it, for March. That's correct, isn't it, John? Like, this is all post 9/11.
That is correct. It would seem that the incidents when she was a child happened very early on in the 2000s, very close to following 9/11. And then the more recent incident happened a few years ago. So that was obviously more, more like now. But.
Yeah, the boyfriend thing was like 2007 or something. So
yes.
We kind of interrupted him though. I had said the events of last night. Was he going to
he was just saying, I was I worked on my the current cases that I have open. I can't say a whole lot about those, but depending on I'm only allowed to give things to anything relevant to your investigation, because it's if they're still open. So I was working on that, and then I worked on some of those. I went home, and then got some rest. I came back here this morning. So
well, I've got one thing then to ask you before we leave. Any of this that we've talked to you here tonight, of course, remains confidential between us. Is there anything that we've touched on that you have found in your own private investigations to be kind of odd and unexplainable? Obviously, all of these cases are completely unsolved. Well, you are a homicide detective. Anything that sticks in your craw?
I mean, what I want to know is why is the current CDC FBI investigation asking questions that some of their investigations 10 years ago already answered?
Quite honestly, because there was a breakdown in communication a number of years ago, and some files were misplaced.
We're dealing with the current investigation that may tie into some of this as well. So
we didn't honestly expect to have to come back this far, but we're just following up on the information. I mean, we suspected that you were instructed. We just didn't know for sure. We're trying to save lives, ultimately.
Why don't you give me a persuade roll?
Okay. Let's see what my persuade is. Ooh, it's pretty damn good. Oh, I jinxed it. Why did I say that out loud? Oh, 19. That's really good. What is mine? It's 69. So it's just a regular pass. That's right. I forget Delta Green.
Well, I really hope that I'm wrong, and that bad stuff hasn't happened in the past, and that the right people aren't available to work on this case anymore that were before. But maybe that is the case. And if so, I should tell you that before, I think some of the agents, they were looking into Bo Johnson, the truck driver of the incident with London, when her adopted parents were killed. Apparently, there's some discrepancies in the whole incident and how her parents died, her adoptive parents. That was the last thing that they were looking at that I heard from before I got the cold shoulder. So.
And you wouldn't happen to have the file, the official report on the death of the Sinclair family, would you?
Oh, I mean, I do. It should match whatever you already have. That's the thing, is that other than talking to Bo Johnson, it's going to look like that they drove into a truck, and fortunately they got decapitated. Poor London had to be sitting in the back while it happened. Probably why she's so seemingly so tragically affected by it.
Screwed up. Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, we'll have to see if Mr. Johnson. Lieutenant, you've been very kind in answering all of our questions. So I think just for your own peace of mind, we may contact you again in the future and explain some of this to you. But for now, we have to keep a tight lid on it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, let me know if I can help. But if I'm going to be honest here, I don't want to know more than I need to.
It's a wise stance to take, Lieutenant.
Yeah. You don't last long in this business if you're not smart.
Questions for either of you that you have for him?
Now, if the events of last night isn't ringing a bell to him, then no, I think we're done here.
Yeah. Different state. All right, let's go. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
We have a flight to catch.
All right. Yeah. So you do have a flight to catch. So meanwhile, we can cut back over to our friends that are already in Texas. I
was just going to say.
Sorry.
Quick, I don't think that Bo Johnson would offer us anything other than the fact that he crashed his car into theirs or his truck. We already know that their brake lines were cut, don't we?
Yes.
So he's just the other end of the accident. He doesn't probably know anything.
He is the only surviving adult witness, though. That is a thing. Other than because Lennon was a child at the time, so
Right.
But that is all up to you. Yeah. So I suppose you can just decide if you want to look into that before you head to the airport. But meanwhile, we'll go check in with our friends in Texas here. So you two, you've driven into Texas. It sounded like you wanted to get a motel set up, in North Texas.
We've got a couple things to do, trade
yeah.
related. Yeah. So basically, we are switching out the rental car, but before so in the process of that, we're going to wipe it down for my blood and our fingerprints, and then we can leave it in a bad part of town with the keys still in the ignition, so someone else, some criminal, can take that.
With just with duct tape over the bullet hole still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will make note of that.
Because
cool.
once we wipe everything off, they won't be able to trace it back to us without difficulty. And then we're going to set up a green box by purchasing a storage unit and then getting a motel room and making sure that's clean.
We need to catch up on some sleep.
Yes.
Got to be awake when they arrive.
We'll sleep in shifts.
That sounds good.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. So you're able to get all that set up and get some good rest. All right. We cut back to Prada and Patch and Parsnip. So you all, is there anything you want to do before getting on your flight?
I don't think we need to follow up with this guy before we get on a plane, Prada. I mean, I guess we could always just give him a call if nothing else.
Give him a call. I don't even know if he's even in Los Angeles. That was a long time ago. Let's see if he's in the book.
Yeah,
Well,
Google.
I don't think they have books.
Nah, I know what you meant. Is he still in the area? If I Google him, is he still in the?
Yeah. I mean, it looks
area?
like Bo Johnson. You're able to follow up on some of the information you got from the first police report. It looks like there is a Bo Johnson in the area. Looks like he is still a trucker. Has a home, a little bit outside of LA.
We are all dressed up. We could just, if you got his address.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's probably not even noon yet.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at like an hour's conversation, maybe. So could be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Sure.
Okay. But I don't want to do all the talking this time.
As I said, Prada, I am not a subtle person, but yes, we'll try to support you there.
Did you want to try calling him first, or just sort of show up at his house? What was the plan there?
Well, we don't even know his home. Just show up at his house.
Yeah, it's not.
All right, yeah. You go there to little small home in this suburban LA. One of the more smaller, more affordable ones. A little bit of a drive, but it's cheaper. So you knock. There's a few minutes go by, and then there is the door creaks open. A large, a little bit of a pot-bellied man. Looks kind of disgruntled, maybe like he just woke up. He says, "What we're gonna do for you,
Mr. Johnson."
Oh. Yeah. Geez. What's going on?
My name is Agent Toops. We are with the FBI. Could we have a moment of your time to discuss the events of a case that we're investigating that happened quite some time ago? I assure you that this is you will be only providing us helpful information. This is not anything against you.
Okay, sure. You want to come in? Have some coffee?
Thank you very much. That would be much appreciated.
Just got some brewing. Whew. Sorry, I just got back in. Just the last night.
You work long haul?
Yeah. So what's this about? He says as he brings you in. Sits you down with some coffee. The pot still brewing.
We were investigating the car accident that took place on date that led to the death of two individuals by the last name of Sinclair. Do you remember much about that evening?
Yeah, I do. That was a terrible terrible accident. Oh God. It was just a stoplight, and I ran into behind my car. I didn't hear any brakes being applied. I got out of my cab, and the Mercedes convertible, had its top down, and it underrid my truck. Oh God, he looks a little torn up. He's like, it was a bloody mess. Oh God, the front seat that had been decapitated, and I don't know how that pretty girl in the back seat managed to survive that.
Well, it was very fortunate for her. So I know you had said that no, you did not hear any brakes being applied. Aside from that, did anything strike you as unusual about the situation or the scene?
I mean, just that. I don't not off the top of my head. He could tell he's kind of dancing around the conversation a little bit. You think with your human score, you think he might be holding something back. He's kind of he feels a little torn up or nervous about.
Come now, Mr. Johnson. You are not being investigated here. We are just trying to put together all of the pieces of this puzzle so that we have a better understanding of what happened. You have been cleared by the police. You are not a person of interest. It's just we're hoping to get an understanding of the events.
Well, you're
It
all right.
seems like you're reluctant to tell us something.
It was weird. All right. I apologize. I was delusional. When I first came out, I thought, I could have sworn I saw, when I came out, there they were, 3 heads on the pavement.
Mm-hmm.
And then the body of the young girl in the back seat crawled out from the under my truck and stuck her head back on her neck before the paramedics arrived. But they convinced me that was just my imagination. I mean, all the blood must have been playing tricks on my mind, right?
You
Right?
said did you sought counseling?
Yeah, I spent 3 months in a mental health wing, and they said I had extreme PTSD, including delusional psychosis. I'm all good now. I mean, I'm good. I see somebody, every year, check in. I got to go through medical clearances so they know I can drive the truck.
Yeah, this will not be reported to your company. Don't.
Oh, thank you. I
have no fear about that.
It already was, but I appreciate you won't report it again.
The conversation we're having right now isn't with their business.
So thank you.
Did you relay this story to the police at the time? What was their reaction to your story about that?
I tried. That's kind of how I ended up in the mental health wing. They thought I was delusional. I mentioned that there was also that stalled pickup truck, but I'm not sure if that was really involved. I mean,
stalled pickup truck?
Oh yeah, there was a pickup truck stalled out in the intersection in front of me. I think it disappeared after the incident. It must have gotten fixed.
You didn't have a conversation with the driver of that vehicle, did you?
No, not at all. I think the license plate was Ohio, though, I think.
Did you happen to get a look of the person, the driver? Could you maybe describe him for us?
No. I mean, I just some guy, I think maybe. I mean, it was just a truck stalled out. And then, like I said, the accident happened. And then by the time all that craziness, and I looked over, it must have fixed it because he was gone. So
interesting.
Apologize. It was one crazy day. I don't. Not everything's very clear, obviously, from my. Yeah.
Well, we're sorry to have brought all that back up.
No. It's I hope you that whatever I can do to make sure an accident like that doesn't happen again.
Could I create a makeshift lineup of people and have Jess Bell just in there and say,
Sure.
do you recognize, is anyone possibly, I know it was so long ago. So, but if any of these people look familiar to you.
I can't really, maybe, maybe number 3 or number 1.
Okay.
I can't really tell, and neither of those were Jess Bell.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he doesn't
That's
seem
fine.
very sure about the person.
Sure, absolutely. I completely understand. Traumatic events, they're very hard on us. and
Yeah,
our psyche.
I'm sorry if I can't be more help.
You've been enormously helpful already. Gentlemen, do you have any other questions for Mr. Johnson?
No, just thank you for your time. We just appreciate all your help with us today. Yeah. I don't think we'll be calling you back, actually. I think we've gotten everything we need.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Well, you have a wonderful, hope you get, hope that all goes well, and you make sure, like I said, none of this kind of thing happens again. I appreciate it.
Great day.
She got her head cut off.
Yeah,
And she
body
put
I
it back
crawled
on.
left that out
put
of
it
the
back
report too.
on. And
Mhm.
now we're suspecting that somebody was there in a pickup truck.
With
She
Ohio
was-
license plates.
Right. Probably not Jess. Now that I think of it, we don't think that the Farnsworth Bells age any differently. And if that were the
Except
case,
that
he would also be a
James was
child.
quite old.
It could be James. Yeah, it could be James.
That's why I was hoping he would describe the man,
To
Right.
because I
what-
was
It's
thinking,
too far
Right.
back.
to what end though? Why would they? So that she'd seek them out, I suppose, to prove that she's the one they're looking for.
Was she? These were her adopted parents that were killed.
Yes.
Okay, it makes sense that if the kid was adopted, then eliminating the parents would mean that she would get all the money. But then you'd
Yes.
also want to have her connect up with her real parents who might be behind it all
Mm-hmm.
because they put her up for adoption. Maybe
and why did they do
specifically-
that? Yeah.
Maybe specifically to get all the money that they need.
And she was born to a television producer and an actress. There's money there. There was money
Oh,
there.
that's true.
No. Sorry, not. She was adopted by a producer and an actress. So there's definitely a money angle there.
Well, i.e., she wasn't in an orphanage.
Right.
She was specifically given to her adopted parents. And that can happen. That's legal. You don't want to put your
You
kid
can
in
arrange it. Yeah.
so they might have done because aren't the Farnsworth Bells are all a bunch of farmers?
Yeah.
don't
So
have
I
money.
mean, how many other Bell children have been adopted out across the United States and killed in an incident like this where they were attempting to find the right one?
No. Because if
Well-
James brings them home and they survive whatever nightmare he puts them through, then he's not only got them back in the family, but he's also got all their money.
Yeah. Got to keep the farm going somehow.
And he's outside of Iraq. So
Wait a minute.
You and Parsnip. But and she wasn't a child. I mean, she was a child, but she wasn't a young child. I believe she was 17 when all of this occurred. So
oh wow. I don't know. I kept envisioning her as a little girl, but I guess she wasn't a little girl. Still, now we've got a problem if you can chop off her head and it just pops back on.
mhm.
I'm still really concerned, actually, about if we have the proper knife and we properly cut her head off, what exactly is that going to do?
What if it does nothing? What if she just pops it back on? Maybe you have to kill her, kill the body, stab it, set it on fire.
I mean, this ritual knife is not just an everyday. I mean, surely it would do something, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
we got a plane to catch.
Yeah. Speaking of
what a
which,
mess.
we've packed everything.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's packed. We've checked out of the Airbnb. God Christ, I hope Pawn and Paragon properly ditched that car. This shit's gonna follow us all the way to Texas.
I'm sure they did. I'm hoping that they're not killing each other. I think Pawn's lost a little bit. We might
worried
have
about
to
him.
take care of that at the end.
Our one last loose end. Well, let's see what happens.
All right. Let's go to the airport and wait in line for 2 hours before we can get on the flight.
All right, yeah, sounds like so you're gonna head to the airport. It sounds like we've wrapped things up in LA for now.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, just a little bit of housekeeping. I also should have you, I guess, for the two that we're trying to get some rest. Pawn, you have had a breaking point though, so you need to do a sanity roll, see if you can get to sleep. But if you can, you'll get some willpower back. And Paragon, if you need to, you can go ahead and get some willpower back yourself, because I don't think, or did you suffer a bout or no? I don't think you, because you didn't break. Okay, so you're good. In fact, you got adapted. So you're gonna sleep a little soundly. You're just gonna have a bad social life from now on a little more. So yeah, so you can go ahead and grab a D6 willpower points from sleeping. And then did you pass the sand roll, Pawn?
I did, yes. 20
Awesome. So,
under 39.
Yeah, so you can both grab a D6 for getting a good night's sleep in a new safe location. All right. And
changing appearance again.
Yeah.
Putting on some readers. He's going to shave his head.
Did you want to try to get some sleep in on the plane, Prada?
Yeah, I think
All right. So yeah, you will have to do a dice roll as well, because you also suffered a bout recently.
What am I rolling?
You're just rolling a sanity here, just to see if you can settle yourself down and get some hours and not be worried about the next guy on the plane, if he's a cultist too, or yada yada, and all those thoughts that you have to.
36 out of 48, so I pass.
Good. So yeah, you can also get a D6 willpower points back if you want to get some of those back, because you were able to get some nice sleep on a plane, and you're safe up in the skies at least. Yeah, and so those of you who want to try to sleep, if you have had a breaking point or a bout, you will need to do a sanity roll. Otherwise, you're able to get in a few hours. There's also, medications you can take to assist that, but those might get you addicted to those, which might mean further disorders in the future. So, there are sleeping pills as well you can always use. But see, anybody that wants to can try to get some sleep to get a D6 willpower back as we go, towards the, closer towards the end. So yeah, you're all
sanity back.
Not yet. No, not from this. Not so far. If you succeed and stop the unnatural, you will get some sanity at the end. But sort of the actions there will dictate how much and what you roll and what you get.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. So you all have a flight. Go ahead. Sorry.
What happens if you fail your sanity check?
So if you fail your sanity check, you cannot quite get enough sleep, so you can't get the D6 willpower points back, unfortunately. At least not for this night.
Okay, I am completely awake.
Yeah, you're just unfortunately tossing and turning, so it's hard to sleep on this flight, and it's hard to get some hours in. So you're not exhausted or anything, but you're not as rested as you'd like to be. All right. So yeah, so it seems like a couple people get some good sleep in on the flight. The others get a nice little new motel set up and get some sleep, knowing that you obviously can't be tracked to someplace you literally just bought with cash. So you've at least got the night to get some rest in. And so those of you who get a little bit of rest, it's a little bit later on. We're going into the next day, and you all can now meet up. The others arrive in Texas. Probably in Dallas, and then you drive your way up to sort of around North Dallas, where the others have a like a little motel room in Betty.
While we're still in the airport,
Mhm.
I'm going to discuss with Prada and Parsnip. Should one of us pick up a flight to Ohio and go get that damn knife now while we're standing in an airport?
The green box.
Yeah,
I can do that.
that should be fairly low. I hate to say that. That just invites bad. It invites bad things. I'll go with you, Parsnip. We'll wait until Paragon and Pawn have picked up Prada, and then the
Right.
two of us can go get the knife from the green box. So we'll go up to the desk and try to get some tickets to
Okay.
wherever Ohio.
And you're talking about James's knife, or which knife was the one?
Yeah, the ritual knife.
It's his James's ritual knife, the sort of like combat, old school like 50s like combat sort of survival knife that the pawn got. Yeah.
Right. If we feel like it's going to be important in the killing of London Sinclair, we should go get it.
Yeah, cool.
Sure. Okay. So it sounds like a few are taking who's a Patch, and who else wanted to make the short detour? Or
Parsnip, yeah.
Okay.
We'll just try to catch a little puddle jumper over to Ohio.
sure. Yeah, so you'll the others will have a little bit of time to sort of start setting things up, or putting the feelers out of research while they wait for you to catch up. But you were able to grab that from the green box and then meet up. So cool. So it sounds like the others are getting some rest, and then they'll be meeting up in Betty, Texas. A little bit of ways from the Ferguson clinic and where the cell phone pinged, and then use those. As we said, those are going to go grab James's old combat knife, his old ritual dagger from Ohio, and bring it back to meet up. So. All right, perfect. So that we can start with that next week, and we can do the others. Like I said, have a chance to set something up or do some research, and then you will catch up with them, and then you'll all be in Texas. All right.
Yeah. Our players included Holly Buto, Nathan Decker, Julian Arba, Alex Sun, and myself, with John Dos Passos as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Delta Green role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.